Ladies and gentlemen, the United States is preparing to enter a period of extremely complex and severe weather. Over the next 7 days, 2 large storm systems are forecast to move successively across the country, bringing strong thunderstorms, dangerous gusts of wind, and even the possibility of isolated tornadoes in several states across the east and south. At the same time, the coldest air mass since the beginning of the year is pouring down from Canada, causing dozens of states to experience an early cold spell, with many places already recording temperatures below degree C this morning. This development signals a volatile first week of November, as the entire nation will face strong winds, heavy rain, deep cold air, and significant changes in atmospheric structure. This morning, the weather map shows a strong low-pressure area active over the Ohio Valley, the central basin of the United States. This system is pulling in a thick cloud band and a cold front, causing showers and thunderstorms across southeastern and mid-Atlantic states such as Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, and North Carolina. The Storm Prediction Center has warned of the possibility of small tornadoes and strong winds during the morning and early afternoon, especially along coastal areas. Behind the low, strong northwesterly winds are sweeping down, pulling in cold air and causing rapid temperature drops across the central U.S. In Texas, many places this morning recorded only 3 to 4 degrees Celsius, with the Panhandle area dropping below 0 degrees Celsius. In Dallas and Fort Worth, thermometers showed only 16.7 degrees Celsius, while northern Louisiana and Arkansas hovered around 8 to 10 degrees Celsius. Unusually cold for late October. In Florida, a state known for its warmth, people in Tampa and Orlando had to wear jackets as temperatures fell to 14 to 16 degrees, while Tallahassee and Gainesville dropped to just 10 to 12 degrees, the coldest since last spring. Meanwhile, over the Atlantic Ocean, Hurricane Melissa, the historic storm that devastated Jamaica, Cuba, and Haiti, continues moving northeastward. According to the National Hurricane Center, NHC, as of this morning, Melissa has weakened to Category 1 on the Saffir-Simpson scale, but remains a strong system with sustained winds near 140 kilometers an hour. The center is currently about 250 kilometers southwest of Bermuda and is expected to approach the island tonight, bringing gusts of 110 km/h and waves 4 to 6 meters high. Although it has weakened, Melissa has left severe damage across the Caribbean. Updated figures show at least 50 fatalities, including 40 in Haiti, 8 in Jamaica, and several others missing. Images from Montego Bay, Jamaica, show seaside hotels destroyed, roofs ripped off, trees uprooted, and neighborhoods submerged in mud and water. The Jamaican government said power and communications have been partially restored, but tens of thousands remain in temporary shelters. After passing Bermuda, Melissa is expected to transition into an extratropical system as it moves toward eastern Canada, affecting Newfoundland and Labrador on Friday before dissipating over the North Atlantic during the weekend. Back on the U.S. mainland, the strong Arctic air mass continues expanding southward. Experts note that this is the deepest and broadest cold spell since March, prompting frost and freeze alerts across dozens of states from the Midwest to the south. Forecasts indicate that tonight and tomorrow morning, the cold high-pressure system will dominate most of the central and eastern United States. In Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri, temperatures may drop to 2 to 1 degrees. In Tennessee and Kentucky, around 3 to 5 degrees, while northern Alabama and Georgia may see 6 to 8 degrees. Arkansas, Mississippi, and northern Louisiana are expected to record their lowest temperatures of the year, around 1 to 3 degrees in higher elevations. By Saturday morning, the cold air will spread to the Ohio Valley and Northeast, with Pittsburgh, Columbus, Philadelphia, and even New York dropping to 4 to 6 degrees Celsius, with widespread frost at dawn. This marks the first signal of the 2025-2026 winter season, arriving 2 to 3 weeks earlier than usual. The low-pressure system over the Ohio Valley is expected to move toward the Atlantic on Friday, But before leaving land, it will bring strong winds and heavy rainfall to the entire northeastern U.S. As the low nears the New England coast, its central pressure could fall to around 974 HPA, producing gusts of 60 to 70 mph, 110 km/h in Massachusetts, Maine, and Rhode Island. Some coastal areas may experience storm surge and localized flooding, especially during high tides. In New York City and Boston, strong winds could disrupt flights and cause widespread power outages. Northern New York and Vermont may see rain turning into wet snow as the cold air settles in, signaling the season's first snow. By Friday night, storm system NAR1 will exit the mainland, leaving behind clear skies and dry, cold air, typical of late autumn. Just as the east begins to calm down, a new low-pressure area is forming along the Rocky Mountains and is expected to develop into the second storm as it moves southeast over the weekend. Model forecasts show that by Sunday and Monday, this system will move through the Mississippi River Basin, drawing moisture from the Gulf of Mexico and creating conditions for strong thunderstorms and severe weather across the southeastern U.S. Heavy rain, strong winds, and isolated tornadoes are possible in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and northern Florida. Major cities such as New Orleans, Mobile, Montgomery, and Atlanta could see rainfall totals of 70, 100 millimeters with gusts up to 80 km/h. Meteorological agencies warn of potential urban flooding and localized flash floods in low-lying areas. After crossing the southeast, Storm System Number 2 will track northeastward, impacting the Carolinas and the Appalachians on Tuesday, before moving into the Atlantic midweek. Behind it, another cold front will surge southward, reinforcing the prolonged cold weather through the first half of November. Looking at the average temperature map for the next 7 days, we can clearly see the U.S. divided in two. The West, from California to Nevada and Arizona, will remain mild with daytime highs of 18 to 26 degrees, dry and pleasant for travel. The central and southern regions, including Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas, and Missouri, will be 6 to 8 degrees below average, with freezing mornings. The Northeast and Great Lakes will stay between 4 to 8 degrees Celsius during the day, dropping to 0 to 2 degrees next at night, with widespread frost. The East Coast and Southeast will fluctuate sharply, cool early in the week, warming midweek, then turning cold again as the second storm passes. The Great Plains and Midwest will experience wide temperature swings, typical of autumn, cold mornings, sunny afternoons, and frosty nights. The detailed forecast for the coming week is as follows. On Thursday, the Ohio Valley low causes thunderstorms and tornado risks in the mid-Atlantic, while cold air begins spilling into Texas and Oklahoma. Florida stays dry but cooler. On Friday, strong winds and heavy rain strike New England with 60, 70 mph gusts. The central states remain below freezing. Hurricane Melissa approaches Bermuda. On Saturday, skies clear, cold air covers the nation, with morning frost from Arkansas to Ohio and wet snow in the northeast mountains. Sunday and Monday, the second storm forms over the Gulf of Mexico, triggering severe thunderstorms across the southeast, with possible tornadoes in Alabama, Georgia, and northern Florida. Strong winds and heavy rain extend into the Carolinas. By midweek, the system moves offshore, leaving behind dry, cold air, while another Arctic front pushes southward, keeping temperatures low through the weekend. Experts note that this autumn in the United States is colder than average, especially across the Great Plains, Midwest, and Northeast, while the West and Southwest remain warmer. This contrast keeps the nation in constant clashes between cold and warm air, fostering storms, severe weather, and heavy rainfall. The upcoming cold spell is also seen as the first test of the 2025-2026 winter, as climate indicators show ENSO transitioning toward a neutral to La Niña phase, often linked to short but intense cold waves alternating with dry, chilly periods throughout winter. Ladies and gentlemen, the weather this week is changing rapidly and extremely. On one side, Caribbean regions devastated by Hurricane Melissa. On the other, the United States, bracing for 2 autumn storms and the strongest cold wave in more than half a year. Residents in the eastern and southeastern states should closely monitor weather warnings, especially from Sunday night into Monday morning as the new storm approaches land. People in the central and northern regions should keep warm, protect crops and livestock, and check heating systems, as temperatures may drop sharply overnight. And for the Caribbean American community, prayers and support for Jamaica, Haiti, and Cuba remain deeply needed. Many international relief organizations are already on the ground, and humanitarian efforts are accelerating by the hour. You've just watched the report, U.S. Weather 7-Day Forecast. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and turn on the notification bell to receive the latest daily weather updates. Wishing you and your family a peaceful evening. Stay warm and stay safe amid the changing weather. See you again in our next report.